Too much is never enough. Let's do a CGR mail call. I mean, I know we did the update earlier today, but first of all, thank you so much for all the emails. My emails have kicked up astronomically, and I super appreciate you doing that. You can always email us at classicguitarrock@mail.com, classicguitarrock@mail.com. So please do that. And of course, while we're on here live, you can always comment on Facebook. I don't know if we're not going on to Facebook today for whatever reason, whatever. We're going to YouTube and to X. So if you're on YouTube or X, feel free to chime in with the comment while we're here. Okay, you might as well do that. So let's go straight to the mail if you want to do that. Well, I want to do that, and that's what we're going to do. So let's go to the mail. Again, these are people that have emailed us at classicguitarrock@mail.com. Let me put the email address back up here. All right, so it's there. Okay. First time emailing you, Jeremy, wondering if this is the right account. I got it. It is the right account. Our tastes are similar, as is our age. I'm 58. Awesome. I'm 56. So you got 2 years on me. I'm a guitar fanatic, more so than a music lover. Most all of my favorite stuff has great guitarists playing it. Don't get me started on saxophone in hard rock music. And then he makes the little angry face. Really enjoy your perspectives and knowledge. Thank you, Marlon Hill. And Marlon chimes in often on the update. Marlon, thank you very much. And I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get to this email. You touch on a sensitive topic. And I have waxed angrily on this topic. And I will probably ruffle feathers and hurt people's feelings. But someone's got to say it, right? Nothing screws up a good rock tune more than horns. I mean, I have to say it. Okay. Let me give you an example. UFO. I love UFO, love Schenker. One of the things that bugs me about post Schenker, it's not just that Michael's gone. Paul Chapman's a respectable guitar player, but they bring him in and then they start making these subsequent UFO albums. And you know it? It's Neil. Is his name Neil Carter? Neil Carter? Is that the guy they brought in? I think it's Neil Carter. Talented guy, multi-instrumentalist. He replaced Paul Raymond in UFO. He plays guitars, he plays keyboards, but he also plays horns. And once he came in, they start desecrating and marring what would be otherwise great albums by putting a horn section in them. Come on. This is UFO. You're going to play horns in your song? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Baker Street. I love the sax in Baker Street. That's a great song. So I don't hate horns. I don't hate saxophones, but nothing ruins a hard rock song more than adding horns to it. Aerosmith, dude, once you jumped the shark when you started adding horns. I got to say it. I'm with you, Marlon. I don't want to hear a horn section in my rock music. Sorry, I don't. This will really offend people. You've played me a good rock song that has a good sax solo. It would be even better if you replaced the sax solo with the guitar solo. Just saying. Urgent by Foreigner. Get rid of that saxophone and put a guitar solo in there. It would be better. Now all the horn players are going to be pissed off. But I got to be me, okay? I can't just come on here and lie. Horns screw up hard rock songs. Don't do it. If I want to hear horns, I'll listen to Careless Whisper, okay? I don't want horns in my hard rock. Now you got me all fired up, Marlon. Thank you. Another one, an email to classicguitarrock@mail.com. You can do the same. Shoot us an email. Nice to connect on Facebook. Here's someone who connected via Facebook. Me and a buddy in North Central Indiana are starting an online radio station February 15th. That's coming right up. It's 3 days from now. I've got more technical challenges than money issues at the moment and don't have time to type right now, but maybe we can collaborate. Hit me up on my personal page. It may be easier to keep in touch. I've attached a photo of it, and then they attached a photo of this station. And thank you so much for that invite. I would love to do that. I've collaborated with a few online radio stations, and I love to collaborate with all of you. If you have an online radio station and we can collaborate, I would love that. I'd love to do whatever, right? A couple stations play my daily updates. Some of them play my Classic Guitar Rock Time Machine episodes. I was doing those for a while. I was on several stations. It just got to be so much I couldn't do it every week, but I've got a backlog of those episodes. If you have an online radio station and would like to stream those, heck, let me know. It doesn't cost you anything. You can have them. You can stream them. It's good PR for me. It lets me kind of advertise my worldwide global empire. So if that's something you want to do, that'd be great. But thanks for checking in with me on this, because I'll absolutely get together with you and let's talk about collaborating. I love that idea. Here's another one. Dear CGR, I've heard your episode on KISS and general comments you've made about the band. I think I'm accurate when I say you have a love-hate relationship with them. I get it. Personally, KISS is my favorite band, but I understand it is subjective. I am curious what your favorite KISS album is. I love the podcast and try to catch every episode. Signed, you wanted the best, you got the best, in Athens, Ohio. Well, you wanted the best, you got the best. Thank you for your email. And love, hate. I don't know that hate, I think hate's too strong. I mean, I don't think I hate KISS. On the one hand, anyone our age, right? Gen Xers, KISS was such a big part of culture in the mid late 70s. Those of us that were coming to age at that time, I mean, I think we all had a soft spot. We had a soft spot in our heart for KISS. Because, I mean, were they the world's best musicians? No, they weren't. But man, they were cool. They put on a show. I mean, they breathe fire. There's explosions. If you're a pimply-faced 13-year-old boy, what could be cooler, right? So on that end of it, I love them. I love them. But I have poked fun at them over the last few. I mean, let's face it. There's funny stuff that KISS. There's stuff to talk about. There's content. Content is king. I've poked fun at Ace. I've poked fun at Paul Stanley. I've poked fun at Gene. I poked fun at what's his name, Grandma now, Pantsuit, Vinnie Vincent. Yeah. There's a lot to poke fun at them about, but I hope it doesn't come across as I'm hating them, because I'm not. I like them. I love them. I love many aspects about it. I love the campiness, right? My favorite album is going to be either Destroyer or Rock and Roll Over. Destroyer, I think, is the one that a lot of people point to, but even KISS makes the point that Destroyer was very slick, very, it polished some of the rough edges off, which was not necessarily a good thing. It didn't sound like they sound live, where I think Rock and Roll Over was kind of more accurate as to what they really were as a band. Those are both great albums. I like Creatures of the Night. I thought that was pretty good. And even Lick It Up had some pretty good stuff on it. So KISS, vastly influential, a great band. I honestly think Ace Frehley inspired more kids like me to pick up the guitar and learn to play than just about anyone. So yeah, I don't know that I'd call it a love-hate, because I don't think I hate anything. I don't think they're the world's greatest musicians, and I think there's a plenty to poke fun at. But at the end of the day, I love them. They were a big part of my formative years, and I think they're awesome. Marlon, did you just hear? I just read your email, dude. Hopefully you heard that when I read it. Beth rocks. So one of their biggest songs, it was one of their biggest songs. And I have to say, I love Hard Luck Woman, another Peter Criss sung tune. It's a great song. Thanks, Marlon, for checking in. Shake and Bake, our Shake and Bake. ZZ Top first album named first album. Don't know how I ended up here, but I love old classic rock. Well, Shake and Bake, I don't know how you got here either, but I'm glad you're here. And I hope you'll come back. Thank you for chiming in. Um, so Marlon, unless it was a different Marlon, no, it's you, Marlon Hill. Yeah, I just read your email, dude. I just read it. You're gonna have to go back and watch the rerun of this so you see me reading your email. Marlon gets my vote for the coolest picture because that's my second or third favorite album right there is Assault Attack by Schenker that Marlon uses for his picture. I love that. Thank you so much. And Shake and Bake, thank you, my brother. Thanks for chiming in, and I'm seriously hope you'll come back. I do an update every weekday. We do an update, usually about 9 or 10 o'clock Pacific time. And I had enough emails. I wanted to come in and do a mail call. So if this is your first time coming in, thank you so much for doing that. And we hope you'll come back. ZZ Top's first album. Holy cow. What an album. What an album. I love it. I love it. Tres Hombres, Shake and Bake. Tres Hombres alternates between, it's always in my top 3 albums of all time. But first album to me takes a close second to Tres Hombres, which was their third album. Hope you'll come back. Another email here. This is from James Fortis. James Fortis. Hi, Jeremy. I'm a relatively new follower of you on X. It's so weird to say X. Why did he change it to X when we all knew what Twitter was? I don't know why. I mean, I like Elon Musk. I'm a fan of him, but why would he take a brand like Twitter and change it to X? Because we all still call it Twitter. I don't get that. I don't get it. Hi, Jeremy. I'm a relatively new follower of you on X, but I've actually been a subscriber to your YouTube channel for a long time. Your YouTube content is more guitar playing related. Yes, it is. So I hope you don't mind me emailing with a question about that. Specifically, lost my place, sorry. Specifically regarding my daughter's desire to learn to play the guitar. She is 11 years old and wants an electric guitar. My wife says she should start on an acoustic guitar, and her dad, my father-in-law, says the same thing. Should I steer her that way or let her start with an electric guitar? Also, do you have any recommendations for a good guitar, either electric or acoustic? Thanks, James Fortis. James, thank you for that question. And this is one that I actually have some pretty strong opinions on as a aficionado of the guitar, as a 43-year mediocre guitar player. I have a lot I can say about this. And your wife might not like what I'm about to say, because this is a common trope, right? You should learn on an acoustic. Learn on an acoustic first. Why? Acoustics are harder to play. Why would you learn on an acoustic? Unless they specifically want to play, I want to be a folk singer. Well, kids want to play electric guitars. Why? Because electric guitars are cool. I mean, acoustic guitars aren't as cool. Let's face it, right? And I love acoustic guitars. I love a nice acoustic guitar. But if you get a kid an electric guitar, they're more excited about playing it. Typically, not all kids. Some kids want to start on the acoustic. If they want to start on the acoustic, start them on the acoustic. But if they want to start on an electric, it's silly to start them on an acoustic, right? Now, as they play for a while, they're going to figure out that certain types of music lend themselves to an electric, certain types lend themselves to an acoustic. And what most guitar players do, if your kid sticks with it for a year, okay, they'll stick with it. It's that first year. Most kids, they give up after a few weeks. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about the cost, right? Don't go buy your kid $1,000 guitar. Okay, start them out. And here's the good news. You can buy new Fender guitars, or not a Fender, a Squier, which is made by Fender. You can buy a Fender guitar for like $150. Start on one of those, right? You can buy a low-end Epiphone, bolt-on neck, Les Paul Jr. style guitar for $159. They have these starter packs where you can get the guitar and the amp and everything for like under $200. Start with something like that. Okay. Then if they stick with it for a year, then get them a new one. Don't start with the really nice guitar. Now, having said that, I'm going to say this also. You can buy a cheap guitar. It's all right buying a cheap guitar. Anything you buy at Guitar Center, and I'm not a shill for Guitar Center, I'm just using that as an example because most people are familiar with Guitar Center, or even a local music store in your town. Any of those guitars that they sell you will be serviceable. They'll work for a kid learning how to play, with this caveat that they are professionally set up. And what does that mean when I say setup? Well, setup on a guitar, they adjust the intonation, they adjust the string height, they, can certain things that they'll do to make it play better. One of the most frustrating things to a kid learning how to play the guitar is if they got strings an inch off the neck, right? So that professional setup means they will adjust the truss rod in the neck. They'll make sure that the guitar is intonated correctly, which means it'll sound in tune across the neck, eliminate any buzzes that there might be. So it's fine. It's fine to get a low-end guitar, but spend the extra $50 to have it set up. And some music stores, you can negotiate that in. Say, hey, if I buy this, will you throw in a setup? And some shops actually set them up before they put them out, which is great. But having a professionally set up guitar makes it a much better experience. Shake and Bake. Our Shake and Bake says, sorry about the confusing text. Retired and now trying to learn to play guitar. So wish me luck. American Fender. Okay. Now, Shake and Bake, you're starting with a nice guitar, which is great. And I'm assuming you're a little older if you're retired. So you have the financial wherewithal to do that. But 11-year-old James's daughter, you probably don't want to drop $500 or $600 on a guitar. So don't. Go get a Squier Affinity or a low-end Epiphone, or check out a Harley Benton. Harley Benton guitars, man, more bang for your buck with the Harley Benton than just about any other guitar. You order them online. THOMANN, Thomann Music is where you find Harley Bentons. They've got great guitars for like $129. You can get a great, basic, playable guitar, right? Let your kid learn on that. If they say they want an electric, let them play an electric because they're cooler. Who wouldn't want an electric? Come on. And then after a year, if they're still, then get them a nicer one then. But absolutely, I would not make them learn on an acoustic unless they want to learn on an acoustic. Electrics are easier to play, easier to hold the strings down. The necks are narrower. So for a beginning guitarist, an 11-year-old girl who's probably not that big, an electric neck is a lot easier to play on. Okay. And in the early stages of the game, they're just learning the fundamentals. So even if they're strumming, playing country songs, acoustical type songs, they can do that on electric till they get good. And then if they want to get an acoustic, they can. But don't quash the excitement of them wanting to play by making them get an acoustic guitar. Okay. Our Shake and Bake. Any recommendations on YouTube for learning guitar? No more questions. LOL. Shake and Bake. You can ask as many questions as you want. No, thank you. I would recommend my channel for one, Classic Guitar Rock. Just look up Classic Guitar Rock channel. You'll find it. You'll see my black and yellow logo there. And in fact, February 14th of 2014. So in 2 days, I'll be approaching my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. And it started out as a guitar instruction channel. So most of my videos, at least the old ones, and they're terrible, right? I have the worst channel on YouTube, but the lessons are good. right? And I specifically have lessons geared at new guitar players, particularly the old one. Check out my lessons on the 5 patterns of the pentatonic scale. We break down all the major scale modes. We talk about palm muting, power chords. There is all kinds of stuff. And my friend Greg at the Mean Machine Radio Show is chiming in. Happy 10th anniversary, Mr. Rogers. Thank you. Mr. Rogers, by the way, is one of my heroes. Okay. Mr. Rogers is one of my heroes. And I'm paying homage to not only Mr. Rogers, but Mr. McFeely, the mailman, because this is the mail call. So, and you caught that, Greg. Nice catch. Mean Machine Radio, Greg on the Mean Machine, he and I are going to be doing some stuff together. So I want you all to stay tuned for that. And by the way, let me send you, if you don't follow Mean Machine Radio Show on YouTube or on X or at Facebook, he's on all 3. Go follow him. He's on Spotify too. You need to check out the Mean Machine Radio Show. It's awesome. And he and I will be doing some stuff together. Guys, the email, classicguitarrock@mail.com, classicguitarrock@mail.com. I'd love to hear from you. And I think what I'll be doing is about once a week, I'll be doing a specific mail call. I'll occasionally share an email on the daily update. But I think what I'll start doing is just like maybe weekly doing a mail call. And also, we got a podcast episode. JR and I will be getting back together this week, fingers crossed, to do an actual podcast episode. Greg, Mean Machine Radio Show, definitely looking forward to it. So you'll be seeing more from Greg and I in the future. In the meantime, guys, thanks so much for joining me for Mail Call. Shoot me an email, classicguitarrock@mail.com, and we'll do another mail call next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.